Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1075, Labo Stratum Death Game. Very fitting title for this. This is becoming more like a clue or some kind of murder mystery adventure, and I like it. I'm here for it. Right off the bat, we start off, someone's taken out all of the Denden Mushis, the transponder, video transponder snails, and Shaka is like, what's going on? Luffy is also wondering what's going on with his comms. They're down, so somebody is trying to sabotage the battlefield. Very strategic thinkers, whoever this is. Elsewhere, Nami is trying to secure the bag, or not trying, she's doing a fairly good job at it. She immediately finds some gems, stuffs them into a bag, and probably have them make some diamonds for her as well before they leave. So the Straw Hats are going to be good financially after this small and short adventure. We also see Robin and Chopper with Atlas, and we see a little bit of explaining about like the kind of structures they have for the satellites. Obviously, Atlas was very brutally injured by Lucci, but now she's all better. She just says she has a mask. Just put a new mask on. That's good. And then they discover these like kind of homegrown organs for humans all over the place, and mention that one day that these are gonna help save lives and help doctors make it easy to save lives all over the world. And I thought this was really cool because that's actually something very close to what we're capable of doing today. Or I'm sorry, we are close to accomplishing that today. One day there will be factories or warehouses where they'll be growing your personalized extra limbs, or I'm sorry, not limbs, maybe organs, maybe not whole limbs, but maybe not in our lifetime anyway. But you'll be able to get yourself a new kidney or grow yourself a new heart with your own cells in a lab somewhere. So that's pretty cool that they have that in here. Very close to our life in the future, very near future. We're gonna see it. The future is here.
Future's now, old man.
Luffy finally makes his way to Shaka, and Shaka shows him the screens, and you see one after one video feeds getting cut, and it has this little like sound effect that makes it seem like it's getting slashed. So, I mean, you can guess who that probably is. It's not Zoro, alright? It's not Zoro. You guys get that? It's not Zoro. It's somebody else with a sword who's there. Anyway, Sanji is pretty excited to get set in the sail with Stussy, and it looks like Stussy is going to be taking advantage of him a lot, so I'm excited to see that. Someone who's actually a willing recipient of Sanji's perverted advances. Frankie and Usopp are with Lilith, and she's showing off what seems to be like a prototype of that bubble gun or the bubble shield that we saw the Mark III Pacifista using in the last chapter. So I wonder how she's going to be able to use that, but I guess it's a pretty good defense against anything that they could encounter. So it's nice to see that she's got that on board. And maybe Usopp may be able to use that technology in a smaller form, or maybe help Nami with that technology, or maybe even the whole Sunny have that technology, a bubble shield. God, they're about to be OP when they leave this place. I cannot wait to see them transformed and harness this new knowledge they're going to be getting. But while they're walking, they notice the body of Pythagoras, and I'm tempted to call him Pythagoras because of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but whatever y'all want to call it, it's Pythagoras, the robot. His body is there. It just got blown up. We remember it got blown up at the end of the last chapter, and his head is missing, but it's not really. It's just in the corner somewhere, and he's perfectly fine. Its head just popped off as kind of like a defense mechanism. His head is fine, so he could just easily replace his body or just go fix his body that's just been blown up. It doesn't even seem to be destroyed. Azula, excuse me. Sorry, my dog. So while we're having this back and forth with Pythagoras, and he's vaguely leaving out details about what happened, kind of alluding to what could have happened to him. He's like, oh, I don't want to say it, or I can't believe that it is this person, just like kind of like Oda on steroids. And we see that York is being distracted by S-Snake. She thinks she's so cute, and then immediately turns to stone and gets kicked over too. It's just pretty brutal because she could have broken a whole bunch of pieces. But luckily she's still in one piece, and even if she wasn't, I'm sure there's a replacement body for her somewhere. I mean, of course he's got extra bodies for the satellites, right? I would. Lilith gets really pissed at this and commands S-Snake to stop, which she just starts blasting them. And so obviously somebody with a higher authority or equal authority, but I'm not sure how it works. I wasn't sure how it works after reading this, but later on we learn how it really works. somebody with a higher authority or equal authority commanded them to attack them, commanded the Seraphim, rather, to attack everybody else. So they're under commands by somebody with very high up clearance or command level. Elsewhere, we see Luffy and Shaka reunite with Zoro, and they're being attacked now by S-Hawk and S-Bear. And Luffy and Zoro are defending an unconscious Lucci and Kaku, saying, you know, Zoro said, I feel bad if I let these guys die, like, while they're chained up. That's not cool. And that's pretty honorable. Like, I'm pretty sure Lucci would not do the same for them. Speaking of Lucci and Kaku, we see them get up, wake up, realize the situation very quickly, that they're in danger, that they're being targeted, and offer a truce and say, hey, how about a temporary alliance, and we'll help you guys out. In my head, I'm like, dude, how dare you even ask that? One, they don't need your help, and two, like, bro, we're gonna trust you. And the look on Zoro and Luffy's face just like did me in, bro. I was just laughing so hard because they're like, what? How dare you even ask that? Like, stupid. It'd be very stupid to let them go. Maybe they'll get free of their own ways somehow, but God, dumbest thing ever. I did think it before. I was like, maybe they're gonna have like a temporary alliance. I could see Oda doing that, but like, nah. At this point, Luffy and Zoro do not need help. I don't care if this is Seraphim. Like, I'll see them overcoming this threat, or at least, you know, staying safe of it. But they don't need Lucci and Kaku. They were, anyway. We're not going to go back to that. It was just hilarious. I love that the chapter ended with that face. That is just hilarious. Overall, this was a great chapter. It really builds up more of the murder mystery, or the attempted murder mystery. Who's sabotaging the defenses in the system? Who's blowing people up? Where is the Stella? Sorry if y'all heard that dog out there. Where is the Stella? Like, that's probably why he's missing it, so that he cannot override the Seraphim. So it's just making me think, of course, just like probably everybody else is thinking, that it's one of the satellites that's sabotaging the rest of them. And we could go into another video explaining who would have the motivation, or why, or like what we're seeing in the panels that could lead us to it. But my number one like suspects, I guess, is Pythagoras. Because of the way he's being vague, he might have even set himself up to get blown up. He's not even hurt at all. His head just popped off, and he's fine. He has even little legs on his face or on his head, so he's fine. It could have been him, or it could have been Shaka. I still think there's something up with Shaka, like the fact that everybody else, at least we see their eyes, you see nothing, and I feel like that's kind of like used in media to just kind of keep somebody a mystery. He is very mysterious. He's supposed to be the good one. But what if that good one means that he really is on the side of the world government, because they claim the moniker of good and justice and all these things? So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I don't want to get too hard into a theory right now, but I really like this chapter. I can't wait for next week's. If you want to be here and discuss it with me, make sure you're subscribed. Like this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this chapter and what you'd like to see from this channel moving forward. Peace.